Welcome. My name is Ria, and I'm here to guide you through a great and fun power yoga class. We're gonna challenge the body and get a little bit sweaty and maybe find new structures in our muscle system that we did not know we had. I will invite you to sit down and I'll read a very short passage from Genesis about being created in God's image. And I think this is a very powerful story with a lot of ethics involved in it. So take a seat and then we'll begin. Maybe you want to move a little bit as you find a seat. Rotate your neck. I will read from Genesis 1, the story where God creates the earth. And don't overthink the story. The idea is not to analyze and think too hard about the whole thing of creation, but more just to think about what it might mean that you and I are created in God's image. So keep your eyes closed and just listen. Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, the birds in the air, over the livestock, all over the world, and over all the creatures that moves along the ground." So God created man and woman in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. Created in God's image. What does that mean? Don't overthink again if you believe the story, but more, what would it implicate if you were made in God's image? What implication would it have on your life? And the way you think on yourself? We'll come back to all that. Do a few seated movements. I'd like you to really engage your wrist as well. We're not going to do a whole lot of things on our wrist, but we are going to do a little bit. And maybe do a handstand at some point. Let's see. Release and down dog yourself. You can move into plank and back to down dog. And maybe take a look at your fingers as you move into plank. Made in God's image. Each of us have a unique fingerprint. I still can't really get that with the billion of people we have on Earth, but we all have a unique fingerprint. Made in the image of God. Step your feet to the top of the mat. Folding forward, you can shake your wrists. And then we're going to do a very small sequence to warm up the body. Find chair pose. You stand up, inhale. Arms down by the sides, rotate the shoulders back. Exhale, sit in your squat. Or your chair. Inhale. And down, exhale. Inhale, and you might move a little bit quicker than you normally do. Get your legs on fire, or at least warm. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Folding forward. Step your right leg back. High lunge. You're gonna do a little bit of rotation. So you can bring your arms out, softening the elbows. Standing here as best as you can balance. And make some slow rotations in your spine. The hip stays, so it really moves into your spine. And then you can bring your hands on the inside of the legs. They're going around in a wide forward fold. Get your head down. And then make your way into your high lunge, turning away from the screen. We're just going to do what we did, so don't worry if you can't see the screen. Erect the spine up towards the sky and do those small rotation if it works for you. Your wrists can do whatever. Keep the back heel steady. And then bring your hands down through that wide-legged thing. You can drop your head down if you feel like it. Coming back so you most likely can see the screen. Step back with the front foot. Down dog. Vinyasa. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's make this a push-up instead. So inhale to plank on toes or knees. Lower maybe just halfway down. Lift up again. Keep the elbows in as best as you can. Move back into your down dog. 3 more of these. Inhale, plank. Toes and knees. Lower halfway down. Exhale. Lift. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. 2 more times. Inhale. If you're not warm by now, you'll get there. Lower down, lift, and down dog. Last one. Halfway, lift, and down dog. Awesome. Bring the right leg up and back, and then right foot to the top of the mat. Whew. Bring your arms up overhead. You can shake your wrist if you like. Palms together without the shoulders elevated super high. And then you're going to bring yourself forward a little bit or a long way. Bring the hands down like you're shooting your foot. And then forward again like you're shooting into the front and something in front of you, and then twist towards your left side, so the place where there's space. Keep lengthening the arms. Ooh, coming back, forward, leaning forward, getting your hands down and back. If there's space inside your knee there, forward again, push through the front heel and to the side. Ooh, I'm shaking. Can we do it one more time? To the front. Keep grounding the front foot, bending the front leg. Back, forward, and out to the side. Awesome. Bring your hands down. Step it back, 3-legged dog. You can bring this right leg up, maybe shake it out. And go for a hip opener. And then bring the leg down. Other leg, left leg, to the front. High lunge. Catch your breath. Always pause the screen if I'm going too fast. There is actually the option of slowing the video a little bit down. There's this kind of a wheel that you see. You can actually speed it up or slow it down. Anyway, lean forward. Keep broadening through the shoulders there. Also, as you bring your hands down and shoot the back foot. Leaning forward again, navel in, and shoot towards your right side. Again, forward and back. And just breathe, rotating, twisting. One more time. A lot of balance. And bring your hands down, step your left leg up, shake it out. Maybe opening up your hip. Then bring your foot down and walk yourself back towards the back end of your mat. Mountain pose. Catch your breath. Then you get your feet, knees, whatever can get together here, get it together at the back end of your mat and sit down. Your hip most likely is aligned with the short end of the mat. Try to keep that. And then go for a twist to your right side. So your left elbow moves to the outside, maybe grabbing the knee or the thigh, maybe not. Lifting the top shoulder. Keep breathing. And then see if you can keep this shape to some degree without pushing the elbow down to the thigh. Let it hover like a sheath of paper in between. Stay here for 5. Breathe. 4. Keep twisting. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. Rising up. Maybe feeling a bit relieved. Hands out. Lift the right leg up. Staying with the knee bended, or if you're up for it, extend it out and see how that goes. Your thigh is walking. Bring then the right foot down on the mat. Keep your arms here. Or if you're up for it, do your cactus arms. Engage the back of the shoulder as you lean forward into a variation of Warrior 3. Here or into a more horizontal shape. Kick out through the back foot. Elongate. Stay for a few breaths. Gaze on the floor. And then lift up and catch a hold of your left knee. Just hug it in. And lower it down. Feet, it must be called. Knees, everything together. One more time, sitting in your chair pose. Doing these few postures on the other side. Pelvic floor in, engage the core, twisting to your right, so your left it must be side. Right elbow though. See if you can get your hip a little bit lower down than your shoulders. All right, are you ready to let go? Maybe. Let it hover, stay in the shape. Breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rising up, your left leg lift up, keep it bended, or extend it out. Don't tear your muscles here. To me, this is a hard one. Lower your left foot down. Cactus arms, or just reach the arms out, whatever works. Warrior 3, a variation. Your right leg back. Can you lift your elbows, your arms higher up towards the sky? One more breath. And then standing tall, right leg up, hug it in. And then bring your foot down. Shake things out. Maybe a sip of water. Mountain pose. You can close your eyes. When we do things that are challenging, we often feel like a failure. But let's look for beauty also in what can seem like not success or something that didn't go as planned. You are created in God's image. You're not a goddess or a god, but the image, the likeness of God. Also, when you trip and fall, also when you make mistakes, there is grace to be found. Arms up overhead and fold forward. Step your left leg back because that fits in front of the camera here. So whatever, right? You're just going to go into a wide-legged forward fold when that fits the camera the best. Get your toes slightly in, and you're welcome to bring a block. This can be a little bit tough on the hamstrings and on the core, so I really want you to engage the core. Let's first go up and down, meaning get your head down. And then we're going to get the hamstrings to work, and we're going to rise up into this and then come back again with me counting. It's harder than it looks. If it's too much, get your hands on your hip, bend your knees, go faster. Head down. Activate the back of your legs. Maybe arms out to the side, maybe by the waist. Lifting up for counting down. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, navel in, 7, 6, 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, and 1. Going down again. And notice that when your spine is aligned with the floor, and there it's the hardest when you're getting down to that shape. Going down. 12, 11, so go quicker on the easy parts. 10, 9, navel in, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe you bent your knees. Get your heels in towards each other, but keep standing somewhat wide. We had the back of the legs there. Now we're going to go for the thighs. So sit down as deep as you possibly can. And then picture you have something here. And then you bring it up on a shell, moving towards the side. You can lift the toes there. I'm a little bit challenged with my balance, so I think I'm just going to stay grounded. Of course, move to the other side. So sit your hip down. Exhale as you put things on the shell. Inhale as you switch. Or exhale as you come to the side. Inhale as you switch, yes. And staying low if you can, so you're not stretching your legs at any point. One more to each side. It's really up to you how deep you go. If you happen to repeat this, you might go deeper next time. Who knows? Release. Bring your hands to where you best can see the screen. Step back. Down dog. We did chair pose with a twist. And you can do that again and play with a side crow. If you're not want to do that, you can also just do the traditional crow. You might know it. I'm not going to explain it, but something like this, right? So you can play with that as well. But if you want to go with me and try the side crow, you're going to get your knees and your feet completely together as best as you can. And you're going to bring your arms out to the sides. That's why we did the chair pose, because we prepared. So take the heels off. And if you're going to your left side, you bring your right elbow on the knee, your left elbow on the thigh. And from there, let's see if I can be on the screen, you lean forward and see if you can lift the feet off and hover here. So stabilizing yourself here and here. All right? Try it on one side. I have my favorite side. And if you're done trying there, go for the other side. You really have to hug the knees in, quite far in, to make this happen. So play with it. It's a little bit hard on your wrist and everything. So go for a few times on each side. If you're like, I'm done, find child's pose. But keep playing if you want to. Find the beauty in playing. And take a seat if you're done playing and done in your child's pose. Trying to wrap this class up. Whew. So you're going to sit back and get your hands here, maybe in front of you, maybe closer. Move the sternum forward, chest broadening here. And then go for a twist to your right side. You can stay seated. You can also lift the heels off if you feel like it. And stay in this twist. Shaking. Coming back to center. Keep being leaned back, navel in. Go for the other side. And then coming back to center. Butterfly pose, sole of the feet together, drop the knees out. We're not done yet. I just wanted you to feel the sensation of keeping it slow, because then you can feel if you're actually activating, getting the navel in. If you don't feel that you can get your navel in, do this one more time. So you pay attention to how it feels to get it in and not just move the belly out in, all right? If you want something else, just to try it, try to stay back and go with a little bit more speed. But you need to be able to engage the core. Keep the legs still. We're kind of pushing into this different muscle engagements and fibers here, going fast and slow. Finishing, sole of the feet together, knees out. Bridge pose or full wheel if you want to be playful again. So come down, feet pretty close to the hip, and you're going to lift yourself up. So I'm going to show you a bridge pose first of all. Back off the thigh there, walk your shoulder blades in, whatever you want to do here. If you want to go into full wheel, come out again. Bring your hands by your ears. Fingers pointing towards your toes. Maybe you come up on your head, and maybe you find strength to lift all the way up. I know people who want to do this, but it's a matter of also arm strength and back leg mobility. Back spine mobility. If you're good there, come down, either postures. Happy baby, this odd posture. Bend your knees 90 degrees. Keep your arms up inside the knee and grab a hold either of the ankle or I love the sole of the foot. Pull a little bit down on your feet without bending the knees further, and bring your knees a little bit further apart if it's accessible. Lumbar spine down so you're not lifting your hip up. The story of being created in God's image has a lot of ethics in it. In my world, my Faith, it means that when I encounter people, I am practicing looking for beauty, not perfection, because none of us are perfect, but I'm looking for beauty in every single one, also in the shape of the body. So how do you view other people? Are you looking for mistakes, flaws, maybe to lift yourself up? I do know what that's like too. Release, and let's do a spinal twist. Cross your left leg over the right and go onto your right hip, other arm out. Another application that this story has is that I want to speak respect and beauty to myself as well. I want to respect my body that is made in the image of God. God doesn't, I believe, only speak to my spirit or my feelings or my thoughts. He also speaks through bodily sensations that is so natural. And maybe because it's so natural, we tend maybe not to put too much into it. Going back to center. Your right leg on top, move to your left hip and just uncross the legs if it's too deep a twist for your spine. So maybe next time you look in the mirror, say to yourself, I am made in God's image. And maybe things shift in your mind and your feelings about your body and what you see in the mirror. Release. And then just a few moments of resting here. Also, to acknowledge that when we have spent a lot of energy, as we have done now, challenged our bodies, we need to rest. And resting from work, from exercise, from whatever, is respecting that you're made in God's image, respecting the nature that God has built into you for work and rest. So relax your face and soften your body. If you're ready to take a seat, you can do so. I will finish with a prayer, but we take a seat slowly, so fingers and wrists and everything's moving. And if you want to, as I said before, stay down and just listen to my prayer, please do so. God, thank you that we are created in your image. Help us to look for beauty in the world and in ourselves, because that is who you are. I thank you that your forgiveness also will cover when we mess up, when we fall. And you call us back to beauty through your grace, God. Bring your beauty to the world, to all the places where there might be ugly things happening. Grace and forgiveness, healing. In your powerful name and beautiful name, amen. Thank you, my friend, for watching.